Inside this inner-city Baltimore middle school,
Mauricio, you can talk to me, and I know you speak English, and you speak English well. I know.
is a very real courtroom-like setting where Baltimore Circuit Court Master Joyce Mitchell is addressing the very real and very serious problem of truancy.
Good morning, Mother.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for coming. I know the hardship. I know you're scheduled to be at work.
In this Truancy Court program, parents and their truant children consent to have their cases heard. Around the table sits a volunteer court master or judge, University of Baltimore School of Law students and faculty, a social worker, guidance counselor, city truancy official, and school principal to investigate why the child keeps missing school or is chronically tardy.
It looks like you were absent one day and you were tardy one day.
The University of Baltimore School of Law's Center for Families, Children, and the Courts started this Truancy Court program in 2005. The founders' goal was to find a way to treat the problem of truancy holistically, keeping these families out of the traditional court system where penalties can include jail time.
So the Truancy Court Program is really an effort to identify the problems underlying truancy. It's very rarely, if at all, a question of a kid playing hooky or missing school these days. More often, it is a question of problems and issues like health, asthma, poverty.
This is a preventive approach. It's an early intervention approach. We intervene with families and children before the problem becomes so bad that there is no alternative but to use the juvenile justice system or the child welfare system.
Each child's case is heard over the course of a 10-week session in 7 inner-city Baltimore schools, a city where figures show some 8,000 school children are considered habitual truants, missing 20 or more days of school a year.
Oftentimes we find children that are involved with the criminal justice system when they're not in school. They're getting involved with drugs, gangs, becoming pregnant.
City school officials say Baltimore police have to pick up and return to school over 5,000 school children each year.
So since last week, since the 19th, Robert's been tardy twice and absent once.
Robert Ross Jr. says he's lost count of how many days he has skipped school this year.
Sometimes I lie to my father and say that I'm sick when I'm really not. I don't want to go to school because we got a test today.
Robert's family has volunteered to have their case heard because the middle schooler's truancy is tearing his family apart.
We're constantly arguing, you know.
Because we're concerned, come to school soon, they are going to come and lock us up, saying we're afraid of that. That's what we're afraid of.
The Truancy Court Program focuses on early intervention, why children can range in age from kindergartners like Sanaya.
Looking here, it looks like you had 3 days absent last week. Is that true?
To middle schoolers like Tion. Each week, the students' progress is tracked, and their success, coming to school, participating in classroom learning, is praised and rewarded. If the kids overcome their truant ways, they can graduate from the program.
Well, I know that some of you are graduating, which is the first big news that I had. Is that where is oh, should be good.
The program also includes character building classes by 6'5" former pro football player Anthony Bubba Green, who has made it his personal mission not to lose any more school children to the streets of Baltimore City. Green has suffered his own personal tragedy, the accidental death of his only daughter.
I do this because, number one, I feel that I can make a difference in somebody's life. That's something that I've always shared with my daughter, you know, before her passing, that, you know, if you can help one person, that's what it's all about.
In his mentoring sessions, Green teaches the school kids about his ABCs: attitude, behavior, and communication.
Behavior, you see right there, you have a problem.
Everyone here, including the city masters and judges, volunteer their mornings to hear these cases. People like Maryland's First Lady, Judge Catherine O'Malley, who has spent her entire life living and working in Baltimore City. As a resident, the mayor's wife, prosecutor, and now district court judge and truancy court volunteer.
Well, I actually felt that it was a great thing for me to devote time to, because as a judge in the district court in Baltimore City, oftentimes when I'm at sentencing and any defendant, I'll ask them about their high school graduation, whether or not they did or didn't graduate, and so many of them don't. And I thought to myself, you know, if there's something that we can do to intervene so that we can get more children to go through high school, so that they are more successful and that they, you know, they learn confidence skills, they learn all kinds of different things by going for full 4 years.
To honor the children who have turned their lives around and are now committed to staying in school, First Lady O'Malley hosted a graduation celebration for over 50 students and their families, and the program's many volunteers, including Circuit Court Judge David Young, who has been with the Truancy Court Program since its inception.
I grew up in Hagerstown, working class parents. My mother worked 3 jobs to send my brother and I to college, and education made all the difference in our lives. My brother retired as an assistant warden in the prison system, and I became a judge. And the one thing that I can point to in terms of why I made it and so many of my friends didn't was my parents insisted that we go to school.
School principals are also great believers in this program, saying it allows them to focus on their jobs as educators.
It's just a good thing that I don't have to deal with, you know, 40 and 50 and 60 kids not coming to school on time. They're here, I may have a handful, but because it's a team, we're working together, that handful gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
The Center for Families, Children, and the Courts is tracking the success of the program, and figures show it is working.
That for the children, the majority of the children who are involved in our program, there is a 75% increase in their attendance during their participation in the Truancy Court Program and immediately following.
Babb says this holistic way of treating the problem of truancy focuses on solutions, not punishment. And often that can be as simple as getting the student an alarm clock, or as complicated as finding substance abuse counseling for a parent. But the program's goal is to keep the family out of the traditional court system.
Over and above the increase in attendance, what the program has been able to do is improve classroom behavior, improve academic progress. Those were really things that were unanticipated.
The program has helped over 700 families in Baltimore City so far, families like the Rosses, who are grateful for the team's support.
I think it's great. I think it's great if he just follows through with it. Oh, well, they talk to him. They try to get through to him more so than we can.
The program's founders hope to expand and bring truancy courtrooms into more schools each year until the destructive cycle of truancy becomes a problem of the past.
And I think it's very worthwhile, and I've seen so many children have turned their life around.
We watch kids go from failing every class to making the honor roll.
It's a great program. It's a great program. I think it helps the kids. It brings out the best in them.
I think it works because we care.
But you're absent one day. That's a big improvement. That's a very, very big improvement.
Care and support from a team are often all these children need to build their confidence and rebuild their lives.
So my hope is that they take that newly found sense of self-esteem and go forward and keep that sense inside themselves for the rest of their lives.
Studies clearly show that children who stay in school not only have greater self-esteem, but stay out of trouble and achieve greater success as adults. Why this program is committed to changing one child's life at a time.
Keep up the good work. Bye-bye.